Former Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey of Dolton, Illinois, has been hit with federal charges, and I wonder if she's gonna be next. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Dolton, Illinois yet again. I just covered the so-called super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, and we're going to get to her a little bit later. But this particular video is about her former deputy police chief, and I believe at one point he was the acting police chief, Louis Lacey. He has been hit with federal charges for lying on his income to avoid paying out a lawsuit. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot about this guy, and of course, there's a lot about Dolton in general. Ever since the report came out from former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, the mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has gone missing. They don't know where she is. I've seen some videos talking about she responded and she's come back, but as of right now, I don't think anybody really knows where she is. Now, by the time you see this, maybe they found her, but as of right now, they don't know. And before I get to Louis Lacey and his trials and tribulations, let's take a look at what's happening with Tiffany Henyard. Where is she at? What's going on? And why would she be missing right now? And of course, I will link to this and everything else in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Jim and Marie, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is the special investigator in this case. And like we first told you last night, not only did she find the village of Dolton is in significant debt, but she also found the village's credit card spending is out of control. Mayor Tiffany Henyard didn't respond to any of my requests today, and I'm told she's not in the building.
Now, Tiffany Henyard has looted this town, Dolton, Illinois, and also Thornton Township, where she was, I forget what her title was over there, but it wasn't the mayor, some kind of leader, some kind of administrative figure. She's looted both of these places, but especially Dolton, to the tune of millions of dollars. And the police chief has benefited from this, not just with the whole lawsuit kerfuffle. We'll get to that in a minute. Y'all hang tight.
No response to repeated interview requests. I tried to track down Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard in person today. Village employees told me she wasn't in the office and didn't say when she would be, a day after this. A packed community meeting Thursday night, outburst after outburst. Following special investigator Lori Lightfoot's limited examination of Dolton's finances. Her report revealing as of May 31st, the village's general fund had a negative balance of $3.65 million. Lightfoot originally hired by trustees concerned about spending, like self-promoting taxpayer-funded billboards, ads.
Now, those billboards like this, these billboards are very expensive. Very expensive. And for what, though? What is the purpose in doing that? Why spend that money? Why?
Plus, spending on lavish dinners and trips.
Why are we going to these places? What's happening here?
Dolton trustee Brittany Norwood sat down with the CBS News Chicago investigators in February, telling us then trustees were denied requested bank statements.
You're having the same reaction that we did when we saw her.
With credit card spending out of control.
Receipts for credit card purchases are rarely provided.
Lightfoot further uncovering spending that doesn't add up. The report shows $40,000 spent on Amazon purchases in one day, money that's unaccounted for.
These are somebody using one of the credit cards.
Another question lingering here, money spent on police overtime, with two officers racking up six figures in pure OT, $108,000 and $114,000.
In 1 year, by the way, 1 year. 1 year, that much just in OT.
The deputy chief, just fired here last week, Louis Lacey, paid $96,000 in overtime.
Now, we got to get more into my man, Louis Lacey, because he is the subject of today's video. But first, a word from our sponsor. Online data brokers sell your information to scammers, hackers, and anyone who wants to use that information against you. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, even your family members' information is all out there for sale. I mean, look at what they found about me. That's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers sell my information, and they automatically submit opt-out requests on my behalf. Now, to clean up the information helps me reduce spam, but it also protects me from hackers who may want to access my bank accounts, social media accounts, or maybe even the inside of my home. Now, I had to learn this the hard way back when I got swatted. It's 2019, I'm streaming as normal, and before I know it, I have not one, not two, but 6 cops at my back door, guns drawn. They tell us, get outside, get on the ground. They go through the house, and they come back very apologetic. I'm sorry, Mr. Logan, we got an anonymous tip that somebody was tied up and bleeding in your house. Now, I'm sure the person who filed that false complaint against me got my information from an online data broker. You may be thinking, why would I need Aura? I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a streamer. How could this service protect me, ABL? Well, AT&T just revealed that over 73 million customer records, both existing and former customers, were released to the dark web. Now, AT&T says use stronger passwords, monitor your account activity, maybe even consider a credit freeze from a bureau or a fraud alert. Well, Aura does all the above for me. And the best part is I'll need a bunch of different apps to do the job of a company that could not keep my data secure. If your data was in the AT&T breach, simply activate Aura and eliminate your worry, because Aura is always on in the background, keeping you safe. I value my privacy and I value yours. Visit aura.com/Anthony Logan in the description box to start your free 2-week trial today. And we're back. Let's check out what happened with my man, Louis Lacy. What is the deal? What's going on? Why is he about to go to the federal penitentiary potentially to make big rocks to little rocks? Let's check it out.
Now to the latest developments out of Dolton. The former deputy police chief, Louis Lacy, was fired and now charged with multiple felony counts. He appears to be the first person charged in connection with the scandal that's blanketing the village. Our Marissa Perlman's been digging into these developments. She joins us live now from the newsroom with more. Marissa?
Good morning to you, Maria. Prosecutors say former police chief Louis Lacy hid assets from creditors and lied about his monthly income in bankruptcy cases, hiding multiple bank accounts that he controlled. Now, we saw Lacy leaving Village Hall just last week, walking to his car. This was just one day after he was placed on administrative leave and then fired, though village officials didn't reveal a reason publicly at the time for letting him go. Prosecutors released a statement saying the 61-year-old who lives in Madison claimed he made about $5,000 monthly, when in reality it was substantially more.
I mean, okay, let's just do a little bit of quick math. They said he made, what, $96,000 and OT by itself, just OT. That's not even his base salary, if I'm not mistaken. That's probably just money on top of the base salary. Plus, if he had any other kind of streams of revenue, which I don't know if he did or not, he could be in real estate or whatever. But $5,000 in a month is only $60,000 in a year, which is much less than the OT he had by itself. So that's an obvious lie that can easily be tracked through documents. Why would you lie about something like that? You're going to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little rocks.
The statement says, in part, the false representations allowed Lacy to fraudulently calculate his monthly income for purposes of repayment of his creditors as substantially less than it should have been. Records obtained by the CBS Chicago investigators show Lacy filed for bankruptcy 9 times between 1984 and 2020.
9 times? Sir, I mean, what it looks like is you just rack up bills and refuse to pay it. And then when it all falls down, you just say, all right, I'm going to file bankruptcy. That's your strategy to live through life. 9 times and you've been doing this for 40 years. What did they say, 1984? Hold on, let's go back.
Investigators show Lacy filed for bankruptcy 9 times between 1984 and 2020.
1984? Sir, this is pretty much what you do. You appear to be a career criminal. Now, Tiffany Henyard has a criminal background. This guy, if he's not been locked up before, I'm surprised. I mean, by the grace of God, he's not been locked up. So now maybe he will get locked up and the feds are on him. Oh, yeah, it's a wrap. When the feds come out and say they got you on a charge, just go in and go down to the place, man. You're not going to beat that. A 98% conviction rate, you're done. You're toast.
And then just last week, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot shared her investigation into Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's use of village money. She found the village is more than $3.5 million in debt.
Now we know about that, so that's pretty much the end of that. The guy lied because there was a lawsuit. He ain't want to pay, and I only make $5,000. I'm going to file bankruptcy, all this and that. So what he's being indicted for here is called bankruptcy fraud. Okay, that's really what it is, because you lied about your income. Oh, I got a financial hardship, I can't pay. That's part of your bankruptcy filing. But they found out you got all this money. It's like, well, wait a minute. You can afford to pay this. You just don't want to pay it because you are a fraudster. You are a scammer, the same as your boss, Tiffany Henyard, allegedly. Now, as I close, I want to say this, man. Look, I was saying it before. It's not just the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, looting this place. It's everybody. The police out there, the deputy police chief, a couple of the officers who behaved as a personal bodyguard. It's a lot of people looting this place. It's really a mess. It's really crazy. And I just hope the best for these people. The regular, just innocent normies out there trying to work, trying to pay their bills. I feel for you guys having to do with all this nonsense. And I hope that you guys are able to purge yourself of this ridiculous fraudster administration sooner than later. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this whole situation with Tiffany Henyard and the police chief and all these people trying to, successfully looting Dolton, Illinois? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is really crazy, really ridiculous, but not really a surprise. Okay, when you bring in people that have criminal backgrounds and you're only voting on identity politics, just like Kamala Harris, when you're only doing that, you're not really getting the quality person. You're just getting something that feels good to you. Okay, we got a black woman in office. We got a black man in office. Okay, now what? What's the next step? They got to actually do things while they're in office. They got to actually run the town, city, state, whatever it is, the country, in the case of Kamala, the world. They got to do things properly. It's not just enough to have the identity to be part of a fraternity or a sorority. Who cares about anything like that? Can you get the job done or not? That's the most important thing to ask. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.